Welcome to GuitarsOK. I'm your host Mac, and today I have a special guest with me, my dear friend Nenad.
Thanks,
how you doing, Nenad?
Very good.
Very good. All right, sounded pretty cool. So today's episode is not a paid promotional episode. This is something that was just lent to us for a little bit. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But before I get into that, I just want to say please subscribe. Hit the like buttons, leave some comments, and we love hearing from all the viewers and the listeners out there. And with that being said, this guitar is a K-Line guitar from Chris.
Right.
So Chris is out in St. Louis, and please check out a prior episode about him where I interviewed him for GuitarsOK, and he talks all about his testimony and his history of starting the company and everything he offers. So please check out that prior episode. But I got into Chris's guitar line because of a YouTube guy named John Cordy. So shout out to John Cordy out there, because he is great with his viewers and his Patreons, and he answers questions. He loves to help people. So he's helped me out a little bit with my channel, and he's the one that was playing K-Lines, like multiple ones, right? And so that's how I found out about Chris. So please check out Chris. He's on Instagram with K-Line Guitars, and please check out John Cordy, who's on Instagram but also YouTube. And I think you'll be amazed. So with that being said, let's move on to the actual guitar. So Nenad, what do you think about this K-Line T-style Truxton?
Wow, yeah. So definitely it's like tele body, but what really stands out is the way it's built and reliced. It just feels like a used old guitar, fits in the hand perfectly. It's the neck is a little bit thicker, which probably is a reason why it sounds so good. Neck is just like perfect. Pickups, K-Line pickups, everything is like reliced from beginning till the end. I mean,
And he has a special process he does, just like all other manufacturers out there. So he hand makes them, him and another guy. And he was saying that he only likes to go so far with the relicing because he wants the relicing to go further with the owner.
Yeah.
So I feel like when he shipped me this guitar and I opened it up out of the package and I saw the particular level that it was relic to,
Right.
I think that kind of makes it interesting, because now if somebody was to own this, which he is selling this particular one, at this point in time in August of 2024, he's asking like $2,950, I believe, for it, $2,950. But with that being said, again, he wants somebody to be able to take the guitar, own it, play it, and it'll relic with them.
Yeah, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
And this guitar will definitely do that.
Right, and so I'm a Strat guy. Sorry, I'm a Strat guy, and I've been a Strat guy. I have owned hollow body Ibanez's through the years, but so my hands gravitate towards a certain feel, and and the guitar body, I'm used to a certain feel with the Strats. So when I first opened this guitar and started playing it, I was amazed at the sound, but I was a little uncomfortable with the Tele style. It has nothing to do with how Chris made it.
Right.
It has everything to do with the T style. So talk to me for a few minutes about playing Teles compared to Strats and what you're looking for in a Tele.
Well, that's a great question. I have Strats too, and my first guitar was a Strat. So the first thing I would notice is that this body, Tele body, doesn't have the kind of cut away here. So when we play, our elbow is directly attacking this edge, which it is a little bit uncomfortable, but putting the hand down, it might reduce that.
And you bring up a good point.
Right.
Because when I took the guitar and I played with it out and stuff at church and different places, I was getting an ulnar nerve sensation by digging in a little bit,
yeah.
which anybody knows your ulnar nerve is your pinky. So I started getting a little bit of a little tingly feeling from it, almost like resting your arm on something or hitting the funny bone kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was from the body. And like I said, that has nothing to do with how Chris made it.
Right.
That has everything to do with the Telecaster.
Right. This Telecaster thing. You know?
Yeah. In fact, I'll interject this. People have called it a utilitarian style body.
Right.
So the Strat has comfort. And some Tellies do. But anyways, back to this one. So this one is a traditional Telly style.
Traditional, very
So
traditional.
it fits and feels like a very good Telly, right?
Yeah, very good Telly. It actually feels like a master built Telly. I have played some customs, and this really feels like one. How it's built, how it slides, how it plays, action is just perfect, and all around, this is a master built guitar.
It's really a good product. So I recommend people seeing his other styles. He has S styles that are named Springfields. The T styles are named Truxtons. He has a Delmar, I believe, which is an offset body style. He has a Gibson style one, and all the guitars are named after cities in Missouri. Because like I said earlier, he is in Springfield, Missouri, which is just down the road from Tulsa. So talk about some more of the neck. I've noticed on certain guitars through the years, like the frets sometimes like feel like they can hurt your fingers sometimes, new frets.
Right.
So how does this feel?
Yeah, first time, every time I touch the guitar, I kind of do this so I can see if frets are done properly. But this is really nice. Like,
feels real smooth.
Really nice and smooth. Yeah, I love this. Yeah.
And it's got the vintage tuners, which I'm a fan of recently because my custom Strat that I got from Drew Wynn at Guitar House of Tulsa, a little plug for them, but it has vintage tuners in it. It's a 59 custom reissue. You played it. And I do like the vintage tuners, even compared to locking tuners and so forth. So talk about some of that real quick. Do you have a preference over what type of tuners?
I really don't. You know, usually nowadays every tuners are fine, but I do like Relic guitars, and he really did very nice relicking on those. It's pretty much hard to do relicking, and some people do like obvious, so it's like looks like it's not old, it's just done, but this is really nice. Like they really do look old, and
we'll show some close-ups
right.
while we're talking about this here. And if you're interested in how I designed the headstock at all, that is in the prior episode with Chris. So let's talk about the backside before we finish talking about the front. So on the backside, I noticed this particular feel to the neck, right? It's kind of glossy looking a little bit, but he has a special thing he does with it. And I don't know if you remember, he did give us the specs on it. And it was some type of French thing he calls it, like his name for it.
Right.
And so I find it kind of to be nice, not too sticky, right?
Yeah, it's not sticky at all. Yeah, it doesn't
good
stick.
playability. It's not worn out looking like some of the over Relic things are, some of the other brands. So it does still have that chance for your wear, whoever owns it.
Yeah, I love how it glides. Yeah.
It does feel pretty good, right? And then basically the back of this just does have some relicking looks to it. We have some used wear and tear, and we'll zoom in. I'll take some pictures here in a bit and zoom in and show this on the video here. But I mean, it's pretty much standard right here, other than it just looks like it's kind of got this like patina and cracking to it.
Yeah, I love that. I love it.
Isn't it great?
I love it. Yeah, it looks so
cool.
natural. Yeah.
And Rhett Scholl made a video not too long ago, right, about the Relic guitars, and one of the main significance for the Relics is that you feel like it's already broken in.
You're right.
You don't have to wait for it to be broken in. So whether it's a roasted type maple neck or if it just has dings already in it, because when I know from my experience, if I play a brand new, beautiful looking guitar, I'm afraid to like ding it the first time or two, or if it's yours, I don't want to, right? Whereas the Relic ones, they've already got a little ding to them. So it makes us a little more relaxed. And Chris did allude to that when I asked him about that in the other episode. So please go watch that. But he talks about how he watched customers pick up Relic guitars and they're way more relaxed playing them.
Yeah.
And then they feel kind of broken in.
Right.
So it's kind of a win-win.
It is
for him and for us. All right, let's flip it back over. I want to ask you, flip it back to the front.
Oh, front?
Yep. And so let's talk about everything going on in this area of the guitar. What do you like about this area right here?
Well, I love the fact that this is cut away. Like, I love that. This is what makes this guitar different than others. This cutaway really doesn't get in the way when you play, doesn't scratch you, doesn't resist your playing. You have your right hand has definitely a rest on the strings rather than on metal. Over here there is like preventing you kind of need to jump across or get used to that. But this is just as flat as it can be, and I love that.
So the cutaway aspect is a little more comfortable,
right?
Allows you to palm mute probably a little easier,
right,
have a little more control of dynamics, those
sir.
type of things. So, okay. All right, what else do we like about that area?
I like the fact that intonation is just perfect. On my telly, I had to replace this with in-tune ones, and I was itching to see will that happen here, but it doesn't need any replacement. This really works great, and guitar intonates perfectly.
And he makes his own in-house and everything, their signature series.
Right.
And so that is, to me, an interesting aspect compared to Strat. It was different for me to play, but I really felt comfortable on those muting and resting. Right. So I have never really played too many tellies for any length of time.
Right.
And maybe one of the subconscious things that I didn't like about tellies might have been, that this cutaway wasn't there.
Right.
Maybe that did bother me and I didn't really realize it.
And those saddles usually scratch your hand because one of those are sharp edged, and usually on those tellies those screws will pop up and then they will scratch you, while over here those screws perfectly align or go inside.
Looks like they're countersunk maybe or something. They're pretty much flush with it.
Right.
So there's a lot of attention to detail.
Right.
That also translates into a better playing experience.
Yes, sir.
And I believe this is what John Cordy talks a lot. He plays some lower end guitars, 500 pounds in England guitars, 700, 900 pound guitars. And he articulates too the difference sometimes between like a K-Line, and one of those is these type of details. The rolled edges.
Yeah, very important.
Countersunk screws here.
Yeah.
There's cutaway. So let's talk some more about the pick. Well, actually, let's wait for the pickups. Let's talk more about just some more hardware and how you felt using some of the hardware.
Well, knobs are just great because they're kind of rendered over here.
The neural ed, the neural world, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. It's really easy to turn up or down. It goes smoothly. I don't know what else to say, but
I think it's a traditional telly thing in my understanding that it would be a three-way
switch pickup, switch.
Which is, like I said, Chris just is making this more of as a T-style standard custom telly style. So this is a three-way, I believe, right?
Yes, it's three-way switch, and it just represents the regular way how it works.
pickup is something that Alan Hines had taught me to use a little bit more of and talked to me about a couple years ago when I was zooming Alan Hines out in LA. And he changed my pick style to the Jazz 3-pick, but he also was talking about using the bridge on the Strats. And, but when I pulled this out of the box and I started plugging it in, I thought, I don't know if I'm going to like the bridge pickup because it seemed a little too bright at first. I started using it in context of a band scenario, like at church and stuff, and I was able to punch through, and it gave it a nice, what I would call a vintage sound, which is, how would you describe his pickups and how they sound here?
Well, I really love that because usually those pickups, when you switch, they will not match each other. The volume would be different. Something is just like not paired. While on this guitar, everything looks paired. And I usually hate the bridge pickup because it's too bright and stuff, but this is really nice. I'm glad they're doing this in-house. That's why that differentiate them from others, because this is really looks like custom. Other than that, you can always take a tone, which this tone breeds a lot. It goes all...
Oh, wow, yeah. Right, correct.
Like it really, or you can open a maximum.
That sounds so good. And that's just on the bridge.
Just the bridge.
So here's what I noticed, okay? Using it out in context of playing with other people, keyboardist, acoustic guitarist, percussionist, and a drummer when I was playing it. And I felt like I finally understood why people use the Telecaster for sessions and stuff. Because in my opinion, from what I was hearing and playing, was there's a range like in this. So the range even of that bridge goes to a certain depth, and it also goes to a certain height as far as bright sounds.
Right.
So that range gets you into a certain sonic element playing with others.
Right.
Right, and it was way more broad than I anticipated, as you were just showing.
Right.
So it can get kind of deep a little bit, but it still has that telly bite.
Yes, it does.
So depending on what you're playing, what type of music, and how you feel, just the bridge alone, that was just the bridge. I feel like it's able to encompass a lot more than I anticipated. And it was a pleasant surprise, so kudos, because Chris does hand wire these, all his pickups.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that how he does that.
Yeah, it fits great in a mix no matter what, you know. You don't need to chop your volume all the way up to fit great in a mix, yeah. That's
so what would the middle sound like? The middle position is both of them, right? I believe position 2 is what we like to call it. Got some bite, but it's still warm. Yeah, there's the bite. Nice. So once again, I feel like that adds to that sonic quality.
It does.
So using that middle position kind of starts couching in, you know, some other elements of the sound. Right?
Yeah.
So try just the neck position. I believe that would be what, position 3? So there's that bubble sound, that little whoop, whoop. Nice. So now on the neck pickup, I'm used to my Strat, which the custom Strat has the Texas specials in it. So if I go to the neck pickup and start playing a little Stevie Ray Vaughan-ish kind of thing, like Lenny or something, really, you know, it's that Strat sound. But again, this particular pickup on the neck and this configuration and how it sounds, I feel like it gets into that territory.
It does.
But still sounds like a Tele.
It does sound like a Tele, yeah.
It still sounds. So it's kind of winning me over, as anybody can tell right now.
Right.
And so I've never really been interested in playing Teles. And so this experience has been kind of changing how I feel.
Right. Yeah, I hated Teles, but over the years, I really realized it's versatile guitar, and you can use it for anything. You know,
Rock,
I
blues,
just love it.
jazz.
And I love also that it doesn't have any tremolos and stuff. So
yes,
it's
you
really
do like
something.
that.
Yeah, it's really something else.
And I like that too. So I do want to say that you did injure your finger too, right? Recently, not too long ago, right?
Right.
And so he's even playing with an injury right now. Was it a fishing injury on your finger?
Yes.
So sorry to everybody out there. He's got a little bandage going on.
Yeah.
But
I couldn't avoid that. Yeah.
No, you have to take care of it. And I did promise Chris that we'd give this back to him so he'd have it in time for the show that he's going to.
Right.
And maybe even sell it. So if somebody wants to buy it from him through us, let me know. But better hurry up. So
and I would be glad to provide some videos and some jams, some backing tracks.
Be great. And that's what we're going to do here next. Is there anything else you want to say about the color? The particular color is interesting. It's kind of a classic color to me. It's kind of got a nice smooth vibe to it.
Yeah, I like it looks like it's been through the gigs and gigs and gigs. It went a little off-white. It's not super yellow, it's just off-white, just beautiful, like road worn. Yeah.
In a true road worn sense.
Yeah.
And I also, for me, just personally, and this, he could have sent us a different color, and I might have felt different about it, but I do like the contrast between like rosewood and like a lighter color, you know, especially with the rosewood.
Yeah.
So I just think it looks pretty good. It's a really nice package. So Chris, I just want to say thanks for sending me the guitar and letting us play it, and we've enjoyed playing it, right, Nenad?
Yes, sir.
I know, right? Yeah. So I look forward to trying out some more K-Lines, and if you have any questions, for Chris, just either let us know or get on his Instagram site. He does respond. He is busy because there's 2 of them in the company.
Mm-hmm.
And they also sell amps now too. Oh, look at that. We got balloons. There, that's for you, Chris. So Nenad, do you have anything else to say, or do you just want to play us out for a little bit?
Yeah, I'll just play a little bit, and
all right,
this is just an amazing guitar all